Live. We're live again. Strength and Gaming in studio. This is weird because we haven't been in studio in years and years and years because of COVID, but here we are. And we are celebrating our 200th episode by throwing a party here at the studio at Samson's house. And I am interviewing now. Hello, I'm Kat. And here with me, I have Sublyminality, who is also a host of Strength and Gaming.
Hello.
And our good friend DawnofKillz.
Hello.
And we all met through the wonderful world of Twitch streaming.
Yep.
That's how we all met. So I know that Samson is a true showrunner of this show. And he wanted us to talk about how we all came to be, how we all met. And we're also going to talk about how we all kind of fit into Strength and Gaming. So I'll start with Subly, because I think, who did you meet first, me or Dave?
You.
You met me first.
Yes.
Okay. So how do you remember that happening?
Oh my god. Okay. So, I was in a stream for Middle Gray.
Yes.
I was one of his mods. Still am. Though he's just not a super active streamer anymore. But he had decided to raid you one day.
Yeah.
Because you were playing the same game as him.
Yes.
I think it was Prey.
It was Prey.
Yeah,
It was
you were
Prey.
Prey.
I remember
Yeah.
it very well.
Yeah. And so, got raided in, and of course I had to say hi, you know, from being a raider.
Yeah.
And I stuck around
Yeah.
because I thought you were fun. We just got to talking, and every time we would, like, say something, be like, oh my god, that's me too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm exactly like that. And eventually became to, like, oh my god, we're literally the same person.
Yes. We're literally twins.
We're literally twins.
And so now we call each other twin.
Yeah.
It's very weird for us to call each other by our real names, even though, because you're visiting, I have called you by your real name
Of
a
course,
lot,
yeah.
because other people don't understand when I call you Subly
Or just twin.
or twin, because they're like, what the heck? They look nothing alike.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we're twinsies, and it was like I remember it was like immediate.
I know, it was like immediate best friends.
It was effortless, and we just started, like, I think you DM'd me first, but
Yes.
we just started, like, just chatting on, was it Discord?
Yep.
Discord first, and then I think we were talking for, like a couple months, like 2 or 3 months, and, like, every day.
Yep.
No, nonstop, until my husband one day, or at the time he was my fiance, he was like, why don't you just exchange phone numbers? And I was like, you know what, I think it's time. I think we should. So we did that.
Yep.
But sometime in between all of that, Dave came into the picture.
Yes.
Now, who remembers this better? Because I actually don't remember this at all, to be honest.
It was through Lightstyle.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Lightstyle, I think, raided you. I can't remember what you were playing.
It must have been
And-
something he was playing, right? Or no, he knew Middle Gray.
Yes, he knew Middle Gray.
So he started watching me because of Middle Gray, and I started watching him because Middle Gray recommended, and you recommended.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So he just rated me to be nice one day.
Yeah. And yeah, I just stuck around with, you know, can't remember how long it was before we started playing games together. Because I'm really crap when it comes to speaking to people. Like, I'm just sort of.
I wouldn't have known. I really wouldn't have, because honestly, I think it's a sign of a good friendship when you can't remember how you started talking to somebody, because that means it was just automatically just organic from the beginning.
Yeah.
I literally don't remember when we didn't even decide to be friends. It was just one day we were friends.
Yeah, I think it was probably just like I think it probably was Elder Scrolls Online, where that's kind of what we sort of bonded over proper.
Yeah, you and I bonded definitely over Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
But then, wasn't it before that we started playing Phasmophobia, the three of us?
Yeah. So we all three played with Lightstyle for one of his streams. Games.
Oh, was
Yes.
that it?
Yes.
I
Right.
completely forgot about that, to be
Yes.
quite honest with you.
Yeah, he was doing a stream night with Phasmophobia, and we all three joined in.
No shade to Lightstyle. I don't remember that at all.
I remember playing Phasmophobia with him a couple times, and I would just torture him with his like soundboard.
Oh, yes.
Because
That's always
had,
fun with
he
him.
always had loud sounds on. And one of my favourite ones is like where somebody's it's like the sound of footsteps running down a
Yeah.
corridor and then a door slamming.
Yeah.
And he'd just be like,
He's such a good streamer. He
Yeah.
really is. He's really entertaining to
Yeah.
watch and to mess with.
yeah, and yeah, it's crazy that I've known you guys for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've all known each other for about 3 years because I feel like we all met around the same time. Negligible difference, like maybe a few months,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, I think about it often, which I don't know if that sounds weird or creepy, but I think about that often and how cool this world of video games is. And
Yeah.
how you can meet like the most amazing people. And like, sure, of course, once in a while you're going to meet some fucking weirdos. That's
Oh, yeah.
like a given. But I feel like we've been very fortunate in meeting like really cool gamers that we have a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
in common with.
Yeah.
And I think it also speaks volumes that you have traveled so far to
half
meet
the
us
globe.
in person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I appreciate you trusting us enough to come and visit us. We're very excited to have you here.
Yeah, because like some of my colleagues, I told them about the trip, and they were like, "So, when are we going to hear about you like ending up in an oil drum in the desert by
Yeah.
Las Vegas?" I was like, "These people are chill. Like, if this is a catfish, like, fuck it, that's an elaborate catfish."
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, because we've video chatted, we've
Yeah.
we've seen streams of each other. We're in our chats, and we're constantly playing ESO.
And
when we have
other
time.
MMOs, which
Yeah.
you sort of drag me into a pit of.
Yeah, I'm dragging you into Final Fantasy 14 right now.
And before that, it was kind of started getting you like
Guild Wars
Guild
2.
Wars 2.
Yeah, it's a nice aesthetic. I really like Guild Wars 2's
Mm.
aesthetic. And I was like, you just have to experience it. And it's free to play. Up
Yeah.
until a certain point. But
Well, I say I haven't. Actually, I don't think I've spent money on Guild Wars 2 yet.
yeah, you
That's the only one I haven't spent money on.
you don't need to for quite a while. So
Yeah.
that's why I recommend that to anyone who's looking to try an MMO. Try Guild Wars 2 because you don't have to pay money in order to start it and see if you like it. But yeah, it's a crazy world we live in that we can meet people from halfway across the globe
Yes.
and become best friends. And look, I also feel like we were responsible. We've been talking to you for 3 years.
Yes.
Before we were like, you should vacation here or something. And I do remember, selfishly, I remember this was my idea. Because I was feeling very chaotic one day. I was like in chaotic good mode. I was having like a manic episode or something. And we were talking about you taking vacation.
Yeah.
And then we were also talking about this podcast party because this has been planned for a very long time. We've been kind of scheduling our shows so that our 200th would fall in August of this year. This is August 2023, if anyone's watching this back. And so we were talking about that, and I was just like, well, you should just take your vacation here. Like, it would be perfect. You'd come to the party. We will house you and feed you, so you don't have to pay for a hotel.
Yes.
You don't have to pay for all of your food. Maybe just something here and there. We've been paying for. We've been beating you to the
Very,
punch.
very, very generous.
It's a fun game we like to play.
Yep.
We just want you to have the best experience here.
It's been so good so far. And we've still got another week to go as well. So.
Yes, yeah. So next week is going to be jam-packed for us. I think Subly and I were talking earlier, and we're like already tired. We're here at the party that has been planned for a long time, and we're bone
Already
tired.
drained.
Yeah. So we're getting our interviews early on in the night. But yeah, that's how we all met. And then the podcast is kind of a different story, I think, because as people have seen if they've been tuning in, I have been around since episode 30, which is not very far into the making of Strength in Gaming, considering we're at 200 episodes. And it was several years of me being on the podcast before I ran into you guys. Mm-hmm. But Subly and I became such good friends that we would talk about everything.
Oh yeah, everything.
Everything. We still do. We talk about everything together. And then I think, I told you about the podcast. I don't like to push it on people.
Yeah.
I like to just, they ask me about my life and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on this podcast. It's mostly for fun and I get to hang out with my buddies, talk about games, and yeah, it's nice. And it helps me keep up with gaming news, which I normally wouldn't do, honestly, if I wasn't part of this podcast.
Yeah, I know way more about what's happening on in the gaming world than I normally would.
It's amazing how much happens behind the scenes in the video game world.
I just get it through like Reddit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, everybody has their own mediums, and I didn't have anything like that until I started doing this. And then I think Samson wanted you to be on because he knew we were really good friends, and he was tuning into your streams, and like I didn't want to push it on you, but I told you that you were welcome to come on if you felt like it. And I think one day you were like, yeah,
I'll do it.
I want to come on.
Yeah,
I want to do an episode, and we did an episode. Do you remember what your first episode was?
I think it was the Fallout episode.
The science of
That's
Fallout.
right. The science of Fallout. Yes.
Because nuclear things, and I think you were super annoyed about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got some right and some wrong. But.
Yeah.
I just wanted to check in on the kids, the children of the podcast, the youngins.
Yes.
That are doing a show, the youngest people on the show.
Yes, we are. We already discussed how we all met. So we took a trip down memory lane.
Nice.
And now we're kind of tying it back to the podcast because it's kind of different how that happened.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Carry on.
Carry on. Get out here, my show. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we were talking for a while about like what my introduction could be to the podcast.
Yeah.
And you guys were like looking for some topics.
Samson is distracting us.
Dave is ignoring me.
And we were just bouncing around ideas, and I was like, well, you know what, like Fallout games are like, they're some of my favorites. And I was like, well, I'm also a nuclear engineer, so maybe I could talk about what they got right and wrong and whatnot. And so
the boys were really into that. I remember.
They loved it.
Yeah.
And I had fun doing it, which is why I was like, you know what, this is actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I'm normally like, I hate podcasts. I'm not a podcast person. Like, I don't want to listen to them. I was like, whatever. So, the fact that I was like, you know what, this was actually really fun.
Yeah.
And stuck around.
Yeah. We do have fun ones once in a while.
Once in a while.
Shading my own podcast. No. I always have a good time. I love this podcast because it helps me stay in touch with my friends and stay in touch with my passion, which is for video games. And that was a really good episode. And I really liked that concept because I think we go through phases here at Strength in Gaming where we'll go through a phase where we do a lot of planning for like these really very specific topic heavy episodes. And then after we do like a bunch of those, we have a period of time where we're really just covering news and we're just hanging out and we're keeping it low key. And that's what it has been lately. So I think after this 200th episode, I think we're also kind of ramping up for this. After this is when we're going to start maybe diving into those heavy topics again.
I'd love to.
Yeah. I think it's time for us to do that. But I understand what you're saying about not being a podcast person, because I don't think I am either.
Yeah, it's just not my jam.
It's really not. Also, with streaming, if we go back to talking about the streaming world, I'm not a good chatter in streams. There are some really good people out there to support us and chat.
Yeah, I think I'm very much the same.
Yeah. I'm definitely more at home being the streamer, weirdly enough, because I also sometimes like don't feel completely in it when I stream. Like I feel like I have to be on, and that's hard for me sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still by far easier for me to be the streamer and be the one playing the game than to be participating in the chat or modding for you guys. Like I want to mod for you guys so bad, but I don't have the attention span for it. And so don't give me mod privileges because I probably will.
No, you don't have them.
I will not know.
Yeah,
and I will be too slow.
I can't actually remember how many channels I'm modding, but like, there's one, Game When Bored. I'm a mod in his channel, and it's like, every now and then I'll just see like, oh, that's a bot, gone.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm just like hiding in the shadows, just lurking.
Right. Yeah, and see, some people are good at lurking too. I'm not even great at lurking, to be honest. I'm good at like, if you want me to be part of a specific stream, you tell me, and then I will put it in my schedule, and then I will be present because I know what's coming. Or like, if I happen to be on Twitch, like the other day I saw you streaming and hopped in. That never happens because sometimes I just don't even go into Twitch. But I just happened to go into Twitch that day, and you were on. Yeah. So I jumped in.
Yeah. I hop on and antagonize Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So does Truman, I think, huh?
Yeah, Truman does too,
Yeah.
but not to the extent that I antagonize
No.
Dave.
No, Truman backs you up, but otherwise is friendly.
Sometimes it's amazing that it's like, I'll read the things that Dave and I like say to each other in each other's chat, and it's like, if somebody randomly just read this, they'd be like, they hate each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I can't figure out how to unsubscribe from her channel, and she can't do the same for me. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the last time I told you, I was like, man, I've known you for like 38 months too long.
Yeah.
I think it was like my 35th resub or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's like
it's
far too long.
far too long.
Yeah, you guys have a different chemistry, I think.
We have a different dynamic.
Yeah, you have a different dynamic, which is you just troll each other to no end, but you both love it. You both know it's out of love and good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, say you'll have to do a Bean Boozled normally at least once whenever I pop into your stream.
I hate it.
Or you get Crab Rave, or...
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. I make you do squats all the time.
Yeah, I do like the shake that cake troll.
Yeah, that's
really fun to do.
It's like, I'll go live and I'll be like, I really hope it's a quiet stream, and it's like the first 5 minutes, someone's like, shake that cake.
Shake that cake.
It's like, it's not even been 5 minutes. It's like, one of them was like at a 3-minute mark, and I just turned, because like, I have a scene where I just like play random clips, and I was like, I'll normally wait till like 5 minutes before I, start with, just saying hello to like probably no one. But then other times there'd be like somebody in chat, I feel like, I should probably just turn on my camera now and start chatting to them. And it's like, it's like 3-4 minutes into the stream, and it was like, so and so redeemed shake that cake, and I was like,
oh no.
It's just.
Yeah, so if you guys want to see Dave shake his ass, you can go to his Twitch channel, and he has that as a channel point redemption.
And I blame that all on Lightstyle's wife.
Is she the inventor?
She is the inventor, because he had a thing where it's like you could create your own channel point redeem. So she was like, I'm going to make him shake his cake. And then
smart.
That just propagated out onto, I think there are at least 3 channels, including my own, which have that as a redeem now.
Yeah. I didn't know she was the lore behind
I didn't know
Shake
either.
That Cake.
Yeah, she is, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dude, shout out to Lightstyle's wife, who, they're having another baby.
They've had another baby.
They just had another baby?
Yeah, so they had Isla, I think, last year or the year before, and then they've just had baby William a couple months ago, I think.
Aww.
I think it was actually like very close or on the same day as Isla's birthday.
Aww. That's
So,
awesome. Oh, that's right. He popped in and told me about that. Popped in my stream one of the last times I streamed. I really need to get back onto it. I have not had a good schedule.
You're telling me.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have lately.
Because I was asked if I wanted to do some charity stuff in June. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it, because that'll get me streaming more often.
Yeah.
And then I think I was like semi-consistent throughout June. I think I streamed like at least 3 times each week.
Yeah.
Or if I didn't stream 3 times one week, I streamed like 4 the next.
Yeah.
And then July, I was just like, gone.
Yeah.
Just
nah.
gone.
Yeah.
Non-existent. And then I think I've done 1 or 2 in August.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like, because I tend to join a Discord call with my mates most nights, and they aren't really Twitch friendly. Like the discussions we have, you've got your
TOS.
Yeah, TOS.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
obviously, it's all like jokes and stuff, but it's like you cannot say that live on Twitch.
Yes.
Right.
You've met Travis and Daniel now.
Yes.
Imagine them.
Yeah, they're not Twitch friendly.
Yeah.
They should create a channel together.
I really think
they
they
would be
need a podcast
hysterical
together.
together.
I would so, because
I've been
just
telling
last night,
them
that
that.
was so fun.
I've been telling them that for years, but Daniel has a problem with being recorded. So it's really frustrating because they're so genius together.
Mm.
And I'm like, can I please produce that and make money off of you, please? Because people would watch this and listen because you guys are so entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I was that entertaining. I think I have moments. Streaming is fun because, especially streaming on Twitch, maybe it's just because I'm familiar with it and I know how to use it, but I really enjoy the clip aspect of Twitch because we have some fucking gold, the 3 of us.
Oh yeah.
On my clips, I rewatch like the 3 of us all the time because those are some of my best clips.
Yeah, I've my random clips thing, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because I'm not like subscribed to that person who made that tool on Twitch. It's like it's a set 20, so it's the same clips each time I go live. So I'm like just sat there with my mic off, waiting for that 5 minutes. I'm just like sort of, like when you watch Vines, old Vines, and you just sort of like doing the words along, and it's like Margaret Martinez, are you there?
Yeah.
Scream, and you guys just losing your shit. And then another one is like when I can't remember if I was drinking, but you two were definitely drinking, and it's like, what's the guy's name? Patricia. Right, let's go, Trishy. And I'm just there, just like.
Yeah, there was.
I got to deal with these two.
I feel like there was one day. I don't know if we were really pissing you off, or if you liked the amount of fun that we were having, but you were putting on a show. Like, ugh, these bitches. I couldn't tell if you were genuinely upset or like.
Oh no, I'm never genuinely upset. No, if I was genuinely upset, you
yeah.
tell.
I interrupt this programming to let you know that Twitch chat said from Nacho00_O. Wow, you're beautiful. The guy with the long hair.
Oh,
Nacho, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Samson, for moderating chat. Sorry we missed that, Nacho. Yeah, he does have beautiful hair, doesn't he? We're actually discussing this.
Yeah.
While he's been here. You've been here for almost a week.
Yeah.
Like 5 days or something like that.
5-6 days? Yeah, I got here on Monday, so yeah, 5 days.
Yeah, and we all got into a discussion about hair and taking care of our hair. And I'm like dying to go to Target to buy some like extra hair product for both of us to try, actually, because even though you have, I would say, curly hair and I have wavy hair, I think that we both could benefit from like just putting in a little product after we get out of the shower.
When I wash my hair, like, it just frizzes. It's like frizz for a couple days, and then it'll sort of calm down to this. Yeah. But then it sort of gets to that stage where it's like, the longer I don't wash my hair, it's like, it kind of looks better and better, but that's just because it's like full of grease. And it's like, I was like, it gets to the point where it's like, my hair looks really good, but I need to wash it.
Yeah. But I mean, it's also natural oils in your hair, which is good for you, and you know, yeah. But no, we're gonna attempt that. So, so I don't know if you're interested, my guy, but we'll get back to you on that. We'll let you know how it goes.
Yes.
Like when when I've come out of a shower or bath and my hair's wet, I was like, I feel like Thor, you know.
Yeah.
And
you do have Thor hair for sure.
You do.
You absolutely do.
And it's like, I would just love if my hair was that straight all the time.
Really?
No, it's such a pain because like my hair only ever wants to be straight.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing, because everyone with straight hair wants to have curly or wavy hair.
Well, like,
everyone with wavy or curly hair is like, I want to straighten it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would like for it to be styled, but it just doesn't want to.
Yeah.
It just wants to be straight.
Yep. And if you style my hair, it's too like heavy and thick, so it doesn't last very long. It'll look good for a while, but yeah, by the end of the night, it's done. It's flattened out a bit.
Yep.
So I kind of let it do its thing. So I'm trying to figure out how to like amplify it doing its thing.
Yeah.
Which I think right now I just have. I mean, it's like on day 3. And I put sea salt spray in it like one day. And that helped it kind of dry out to more of a curl than usual. But now it's all flattened out. So it's time to wash again. But I need to go to Target and get that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, we've had a nice little chat here. I think it all just comes full circle and comes back around to you meet some cool people when you play games, when you stream. And Dave, honestly, I think this is the first time you've been on the podcast.
Yep, this is my first time.
Welcome on.
Welcome
Thank
on.
you
But really, it almost isn't because we've talked about you so often
Yep.
on the podcast. So it's like our listeners know who you are.
Mm.
I don't know how that came about. We keep bringing Dave up. Is it because of our streams?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's probably the streams.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the Phasma streams.
And the fact that everyone likes to call you Baby Rick Astley.
Which isn't quite true anymore. My hair's
Yeah.
long now.
Yep. Your hair's longer. You've gotten older. Less of a baby face now.
I wouldn't say my face has changed that much.
But I would say that, I don't know, maybe it was a particular time that we started.
It was when for some reason, I was wearing my sunglasses on stream inside in my bedroom at uni. And it was probably when my hair was still growing out and the top was just a little bit thicker and, you know, because my hair's curly as hell.
Yeah.
So it probably did give that. And the lighting in that room was very orange, which obviously makes everyone think I'm ginger when I'm not.
Yeah, we are here to confirm that Dave is neither ginger nor English.
No.
Still gonna call you a ginger.
Yeah.
Not ginger.
Don't let his accent fool you. It's not an English accent. Stop saying it is.
Actually, I'm pretty sure one of my random clips is me playing Spyro, and everyone, like, it was at a time where everyone just came into my chat, and this one guy, Celestigan, just came in and just started causing chaos. I was like, oh, you're ginger. I was like, I'm not ginger, and everyone just sort of hopped on this bandwagon.
Yeah.
So I just typed up quick text on OBS,
not a
and it just
ginger.
says,
I
I
remember
am
that.
not a
That was
ginger
so
as I'm
funny.
playing Spyro.
We have a sound clip of you somewhere admitting that you are.
I was
But
very
it was
inebriated at the time.
Yeah.
But
And we were getting on your last fucking nerve.
I'm pretty sure if you do !Dave on your channel, it'll play the soundbite.
Oh, I don't think it's on there anymore because I switched programs.
Oh, right.
So it's on my computer somewhere.
You've got the sound.
I
clips
got
in
it.
there. Yeah.
Don't worry, I got it. I got it somewhere. But yeah, I think that we're getting kicked out right now because we just have too much fun here. The three of us, I
Yeah.
could talk forever.
Oh yeah.
So I hope anyone who has tuned in live or maybe watching this back, come visit us on our Twitch channels. We have Sublyminality, which you'll see it spelled out, I'm sure, wherever you're watching this from. We have DawnofKillz. And then myself, I am Mythicat. And we hope to see you around our streams because once you come in, you're a friend to all of us. Mm-hmm. We all have our regulars and we all love them and we always bring them up in conversation. So we hope that you become one of them and have fun gaming with us.
Yes.
And please keep tuning into our podcast, Strength in Gaming, for all of the latest gaming news from a very interesting, maybe inebriated perspective. You can always count on that with us. So I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your night. I'm hanging out with these three, so this might be the last time you see us tonight. But y'all have a great night, and stay tuned for more fun people from the podcast. And see.
We're done.
We're done. Goodbye, y'all.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And sometime this year.
Get through all the F-bombs. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we got these motherfuckers.
I actually finished
right here.
a piece of music for
I
it.
don't know why this is falling over. Cat's just throwing my shit around.
Fuck this shit.
That's what it is.
It's been moved down for Cat, so I'm just gonna lean back. Lean back. So we got ZZ Top here.
Oh.
Wait, no.
I like that comparison.
I've met a very famous human being right now.
No, but so this is Strength in Gaming. I'm Samson Lancaster. We have the Spicy Thoughts crew here. You all don't even know what Spicy Thoughts is yet because it hasn't released, but I'm hoping it released this year. That I say that it is entirely dependent on me. At least 90-something% of that. 10% is Devin with the fucking music. Where you are with the fucking music, bro? Come on.
Working on it. Promise.
No, I know you are. I'm just fucking with you. But yeah, so it's been this show, Strength in Gaming, has been on for 200 plus episodes. 200 main episodes is what we're calling. It's the 200th episode. We're here streaming live on Twitch, and the Spicy Thoughts crew, Devin, motherfucking Steele, is here with us today, and fucking Josh Golden, aka Frozen Fallout, of Federation Frontline Report and Spicy Thoughts podcast, and a number of other things that I'll give you some time later to talk about. Hopefully, if we don't run out of time. We're not really allowed to talk about Eve on this show, and I think that's gonna kind of like bleed into this too. We're not gonna talk about Eve because what we're gonna talk about is everybody here's. Let's start with their first experience on Strength in Gaming, or if you were part of the old school crew, it was called Strength Cast at some point. But why don't we start with Josh Frozen? What was your first experience with Strength in Gaming?
Hold on. For 3 seconds before you dive in, can we just all cheers?
Oh yeah,
yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Good.
Just
cheers.
Just get a big clink in
There we go.
So I think my first experience with Strength in Gaming was after I learned about you, and we met up basically via Facebook, and I was gonna interview you about
Eve was involved. That's all we'll say.
Yeah. So there was an interview that I did of Samson, and then I learned of Strength in Gaming
About an Eve thing.
about Eve stuff, and but I had learned that you were a podcaster, so I was like, me and you both had like a good strong connection like right away after I did the interview, and I got you to come in and do more gaming with me.
You brought me out into space and we killed people.
I
didn't say Eve, so it doesn't count.
I tried to murder. We murdered digital.
Testing my patience.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I have to.
And
you are a captive audience, sir, even though you're being interviewed.
We're gonna do pirating and stuff like that, and so. But then I learned of Strength in Gaming through that, after talking to you after the interview and stuff like that, checking out your podcast, and I thought this is like I loved it. Like I loved the whole concept of the banter that you guys have with each other, how it's just a fun podcast to just listen to, and then I came on. To be honest. My brain.
It's terrible. I hated it.
To be honest, my brain
Time
sucks.
to fucking go.
And I don't have.
To be honest,
I don't have a great memory of the interview that I did on your.
I think it was because
when I came on.
I think it was because it was the Bean Boozle.
It was the Bean
Yes.
Boozle.
So like you were just too
no,
busy like
see now
dying.
it's coming back. It's
You
came,
were
yeah. Oh
dying
my
from
god,
the
man,
beans.
that was rough. Like some of those beans were, like because Bean Boozle is the way that it is. So you, like, eat one and you're like, oh, that's not so bad, and then the next one is barf or something like that. And
spoiled milk.
Oh man, spoiled milk, bad. It was so bad, like, and so so I did the Bean Boozle with you guys, and that was a lot of fun. Even though it was disgusting and horrible and evil and stupid. It was great. Like I love like doing some extreme stuff to get some extreme reaction out of people, but not not going too.
It's amusing.
Yeah, it's amusing.
It's good. It's good entertainment.
Yeah, you want to talk video games and then eat weird,
spicy things,
possible,
stinky things, gross
stinky things. Yeah, spicy wasn't really a big one of that.
No, yeah, that wasn't spicy.
And then we went on and started doing spicy thoughts. Soon to be announced. Pre-announced.
Sort of announced a few times.
Soft announced.
Soft announced.
Soft talked about. Talked about it
we
with
need to
all
get-
of
we
my
need to get
buddies
hard
and friends.
soon.
I'm
I
like,
need to
"You gotta
get-
check out this podcast that doesn't exist yet.
I want to release the pilot to everybody we know first, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, so now I came to California. I had my trials and tribulations to get here.
California love.
Oh yeah,
You got your California
careful with
cherry
that,
popped.
Yeah, I just got.
And now I'm
trademark.
going to be hit by a hurricane. So
Yeah, there's gonna be a tropical storm hitting us shortly this morning. I'm
they
pretty
keep
sure.
on calling it a hurricane, dude.
I'm
It's
pretty
not.
sure
in a
It's not a
couple hours.
tropical. You're
I'm
gonna
pretty
like
sure-
hit by a hurricane.
It's a tropical storm now.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't yesterday.
I'm pretty sure Frozen and I are gonna be standing outside when the sun comes up and the fucking rain starts hitting us, and then we're gonna go, okay, let's go inside. Like this is probably gonna happen because like this fucker doesn't sleep. And like, well, he does, but like during the day, and like,
I might be a vampire. I
Little
might have,
nocturnal.
yeah,
you
he
know,
might
little-
be a little bit of. I've
played-
never
I
actually
played
seen
Vampire
him
the
out in the
Masquerade,
sun,
and,
so yeah, it's very
questionable.
possible. He's
Very-
actually a few hundred years old.
I can't tan.
So
like,
yeah,
I
there
can't.
you go.
I
You can't tan.
I just get.
He
I
has
get
no
sunburnt
reflection.
and then it
That's-
goes away.
That's
Right
a
now, you're like
Wisconsin
John
in ya.
Cena. No one can see you on the camera.
Yeah.
But yeah. So really quick though, Devin. This isn't a story. I don't know if you've heard.
Sorry.
Sorry,
What
this
are
is
you-
a story.
you from Wisconsin?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're all from Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. But
Make
no.
sure to wash your hands before supper.
Super.
But fucking Devin, what was your first experience with strength in gaming? This is always been a
Okay.
fun story that's amused me. So.
So my first experience. Okay, well,
There's a big fly or something.
first of all, so Sam and I used to work together. We worked at the same company, and
We drove past it when I took you from the airport. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
over there behind all those fucking trees.
Yep.
yeah, so that's where I worked with him, and we were like the only gamers kind of in like our area, and he had posters which the viewers can't see.
I
but
had
Josh, you
those
can see.
posters, which I
He's got those
actually did
posters
show
over there.
earlier, but yeah, they're over here.
Show them off. He had those.
I don't have
like,
zoom capability.
just in the side of his cubicle, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And he was like, "It's my podcast." I was like, "Podcast?
What's a
gaming
podcast?
Podcast?" What? So I listened to it, and then I famously platinumed the podcast.
You
I
listen to
listened
every single episode.
every single episode.
I don't know
that
how many
existed.
were out at that point. Was Cat was already on, so
Cat
we
was
were
already
past
on.
30.
Yeah.
So
No,
it was probably like in the
50
50s.
to 60,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
Because I think your first episode was in the like 50s or 60s. So that
Yeah,
makes sense. About
somewhere in that area.
Which is, by the
So
way,
You did a binge.
So,
of
yes,
the
Yeah, I
podcast.
binged it
so
hard.
by the way, that is extremely impressive because back then our shows were notoriously like 2.5 hours long minimum.
At least,
That's
yeah.
a binge. Like,
It was intense.
like 150 plus hours.
But basically, what
I
I
don't
would
know.
do is I was just sit at my desk at work and then throw it in my headphones while I'm working, and just you're doing 10-hour days. Or
Yeah.
at least I was. So
And
it's
then-
like, I can listen to like 3 episodes a day. It's fine.
you started coming over and like
So-
talking to me about it.
Yeah. Then I would be like, I'd listen to the episode, and then I'd go over to talk to Sam about it, and be like, "Hey, you said this shit on the podcast, and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about." I remember like
calling you out, man.
specifically, it was the Last of Us episode.
Oh yeah.
When the gang discussed The Last of Us, where I was like, Spike doesn't know what
Episode
the
5.
fuck he's talking
yeah,
about.
Spike hated the Last of Us.
Spike is a dumbass. You got to tell him this, that, and the other
That's
thing.
my bro, the big fucking, the only guy bigger than me out there.
And so finally, around Christmas time, I don't remember what year it was. It was maybe 2014
You had that beautiful sweater.
or 2015. We had an ugly sweater party at work.
I'm gonna see if I can find that for the.
So I had a really ugly ass sweater. It was like this gray shit from Target with just like bison on the front for no reason. And he was like, "Hey, after the the ugly sweater party, you want to come over to my house? We're gonna do a strength cast. You could talk about horror games."
Oh yeah.
And so I just did like I think it was a top 10. It was like the top 10 like most pivotal horror games.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
Look
there's
at
that
Look at that
sweater.
fucking sweater.
There's that sweater on that
That's
fat
beautiful.
boy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was.
You really sexified yourself.
Sexified.
I tried. I try. I'm
Sexified.
working out. Eating better. But But yeah, so I did I think it was like the top 10 horror games that you have to play.
Horror games.
Horror games.
So what are some of the like
Oh Christ, I don't
two.
remember anymore.
Top 2.
I don't remember
Give
anymore.
me 2. Yeah.
Silent Hill 2 is definitely on there. It was probably my number
we're
1.
obsessed with Silent Hill.
I'm obsessed with Silent Hill. So Silent Hill 2 is definitely on there. Probably the original. No, not the original Dead Space. Dead Space 2 is probably also on there. And Resident Evil 2.
I was
twos.
Resident Evil 2. I was
of
about
twos.
to ask
Talking
you
about
if
it
you
last
didn't
night.
say Resident Evil 2, I was going to be like, how you feel about Resident Evil?
What about
That's like
Resident
my like I remember dropping the controller when Nemesis jumped through the wall when you're picking up the key for like the first time. It's like one of the first times that you encounter him.
That's 3.
And I dropped the count. No, 2.
No, Nemesis is in 3.
Or then whatever the big guy is that
Mr.
knocks
X.
through the wall.
Mr. X.
Yeah, so not
Yeah.
Nemesis.
Okay,
but yeah,
Mr.
you're
X
right.
is in 2.
The precursor to
The
Nemesis.
precursor to
essentially.
Nemesis. So he
Nemesis
jumps through
Alpha.
the wall, and you're
Yes.
supposed to pick up a key. And I just remember as a kid just dropping it. I had my cousins over. It was like storming out. We had turned off all the lights, and we just got like really into Resident Evil. And that's the one game that like I beat it as the guy, beat it as the chick, beat it as the tofu. You know, like
Yeah.
Just beat it as yourself.
yeah.
Well, but that's the fucking great thing about that fucking game. Now I'm nerding out on Resident Evil. But because, like, so there's the A campaigns and the B campaigns. There's 2 different ones for both characters. And there's a whole integrated, they called it the zapping system, where, like, if you play through as Claire, for example, first, if you pick up certain items, then if you go play Leon's complimentary campaign, those items are not there for him to pick up because Claire picked them up.
Harder.
It was radical at the time that it came out because
Yep.
that was like late 90s.
Revolutionary.
All about that memory card that they had in
All
PlayStation.
about it.
Yeah.
But also Mr. X never showed up in an A. They called it the A playthrough. It was like playthrough 1. And then your second playthrough is the other character was called the B. So each character had that. But Mr. X never showed up in an A playthrough. He only showed up in B.
Really?
So, yeah.
I don't remember that.
So your
Okay.
first playthrough, you would never encounter him. So then on your
Maybe
second
that's why I
playthrough,
played
freaked
through it
out so
once
much.
because
yeah,
I'm a
'cause
pleb.
on your second playthrough, then you're like, oh, I know these areas. Like, I've been here. I know this shit pretty well. And then he just slams the fuck through the wall. You're like, what the fuck is that?
Yep.
It just surprises the shit out of you. It's the best. Yeah, it's a great fucking game.
Yeah, so you learned about strength gaming, you watched all the stuff, and then came on for your first thing was
Came on to do a horror show.
horror show.
That
right
was
away at the beginning.
pre-video, so he only listened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was all
right,
audio.
yeah,
It
It was all audio at that point.
And
We
then
didn't-
and
we
then I
didn't
was
do YouTube
on,
yet.
and we did the top 10 horror games, and I left, and I was like, man, that was fucking shit.
He was like, "It was
Oh.
terrible."
I was not fun. I wasn't funny. My list wasn't interesting.
It was
wasn't
great.
good.
It was great.
Really?
And then,
great.
and then a couple weeks later, Sam was like, "Hey, you coming back, right?" And I was like,
Yeah, you gotta do more.
"You
Okay,
what,
so was
you need
this
to come back?"
self-internalized?
Absolutely, I
So
didn't
you-
fucking
you-
say it sucked. Why
No,
would
no,
I?
no. I'm saying, did you express to him that it
No,
sucked?
no, it was
Okay,
all
so
just
it's
internal.
Just an internal dialogue that you had with yourself.
No, it's all just me as an introvert with like massive performance anxiety.
Yeah.
Being like, that was terrible. I did a horrible job.
Aw.
And he had to be like,
So you
no,
must
dude,
have been
come
so
back.
excited
No,
to come
it's
back.
a
then.
podcast,
it's
right?
great.
Like you just have to express yourself. You just have to be passionate about what you're talking about. That's the
Burp
like,
a little bit. you
Yeah,
know.
burp a little bit.
Fart a couple times.
No, yeah.
Snort, cough. But like, just like if you're going to do a podcast, the number one thing before any other rules, I have a lot of rules which we won't go through, but the number one thing is
No pants.
No pants.
Oh yeah.
No, wait, no, that's only Uncle Touchy's shirtless podcast studio.
Which is
Sorry.
where we are.
Yes, we are. But the point being though is that it's just be passionate about what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
don't pick a topic that you don't give a shit about, that you have to do so much research just to understand what it is. Like, just, I mean, we all love video games. It's one thing that's like on Strength in Gaming. We all love video games. We've all played video games almost our entire lives. We've just grown up with them, or just like they've just become an integral part of our lives one way or another, and we love playing it. We love talking about it, and but to change gears a little really quick, we did record a podcast that isn't video game related. The three of us here.
I don't know what he's talking about.
No,
you know what he's talking
that's-
about?
it's-
I
I don't know either.
There's no evidence.
Oh,
There's
no,
no
yeah.
evidence of
For
this.
his,
It's all on the backup hard drive
lives.
right there.
Oh, this thing that I can just elbow drop from the top rope.
I have my face talking with these guys talking in the background.
This is AI. This is all AI. But no, so spicy thoughts. Just a really quick background on it. Devin and I have done a lot. We did a few like Hot Ones homages, you could
Sure.
say.
And we have some more upcoming.
I
And
do
we have
love
some
Hot
more.
Ones.
Oh,
my God.
Lord, we have more
Just
coming.
Yeah.
minor shout
worst-
out for the series that everybody probably
Yes,
knows about.
Hot
so.
Ones. So like we love Hot Ones. I know we'll never like
It's
be
the show that
associated
got-
with them, but just like it's a good inspiration for people like us, and because we like spicy things, and I know you guys can see right up there. Maybe I can zoom in on it. Let's zoom in on it.
The worst day of my fucking life.
Wait, right there. It's really hard to
Oh.
see the death nut
Oh
Death Nut.
yeah, Death Nut.
next to a penis and red. Red is like nuzzling it.
So I didn't do it. I was not involved.
No,
No.
this was a long time ago. This
Thank
was
fucking Christ.
yeah, I
you
know.
were
I'm
involved,
okay. I'm
dude.
okay. That's okay.
This
I'm
was
fine.
this was
I don't
before
need a
we
Death Nut.
even did any like together, like so after the Death Nut. Then we did like he did like a Hot Ones thing for me after the Halloween episode, which was really cool.
Which I was proud of because I even did the Instagram deep dive.
Yes,
Okay.
he did.
Showed him some shit and he
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
what the
Pictures
fuck?
of me in front of the Yamazaki fucking distillery
Oh,
and shit
nice.
like that.
Nice.
But so like
I just real quick the interviewing skill of that guy along with whoever like does the research with him, because I know
Yeah,
that
it's a
he's
good
talked
job.
about the guy
Yeah.
that does the research as well. I can't remember.
They do
I
good shit.
fail at knowing knowledge, but it's
Knowing
totally
knowledge.
totally uppable. And,
Lookable. It's
And,
called Google.
Google it. And but
Google
man,
it.
Do you even Google, bro?
Do you even Google, bro?
I wish that I could have the ability to just have that much cool research on somebody. That's cool though. So you did like a deep dive Instagram on
and
Yeah.
Facebook
Samson.
even, too.
and
yeah.
Facebook, yeah,
Yeah.
he stalked me pretty hard
I
for that,
stalked
and
him
it
hard.
was a lot of fun.
I need to get my wife to. She likes stalking.
So yeah, and she also likes spicy foods.
Yeah.
So another thing too
Spicy
is
stalking.
spicy. That's the next season.
There it is.
But no, our wives. So we said we wanted to do something for the holidays. You know, whatever you celebrate in
Christ.
December, Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever, and it was like, we called it the
was
the advent of pain and suffering. Yes, and we essentially told our wives, hey, we want to do a spicy type show with the two of us recorded on camera, you know, and we. Sorry, you just blew that smoke all over that penis, and it was sexy.
Yeah, should I give a shot for the viewers, too?
yeah. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. for
Let me get the
viewers.
dick in here.
Oh yeah, there we go.
It's all nice and wiggly.
Made for adults.
Oh,
Damn, that was
no.
good.
Oh no.
Here it comes. He's gonna blow the dick. Nice.
There we are.
We get it. You vape.
You're gonna get kicked off of Twitch so quick.
That's fine.
That's
I
a
don't care.
dildo. It's not nudity or anything.
No, it's not real. Fake penis.
Some guy just flopped his dick out like
no, it's
fine.
yeah, but that was YouTube. But no. So what was I saying? I was saying
Advent of pain and suffering.
yes, the advent of pain and suffering. We basically enlisted our wives to help us with this, and
Which
My
shout
wife-
outs by the way to our wives because they did fucking phenomenal work.
so yeah,
curating that shit.
Ashley and Heather, my wife. So my wife, Ashley's his wife.
Wow.
My wife.
My wife. Heather asked me, she's like, okay, what are the limitations on this? And I basically said, no, just do whatever the fuck you want.
There are no limits.
There are no limits. And that was a huge mistake.
Boy,
Oh,
was
there
it.
that
you
was the
go.
biggest
Oh,
mistake.
there you go.
That was I never financially recovered from that. No.
Your
There was
fucking bowels never
emotional
recovered.
damage.
Tipped.
Dude,
So
okay.
the third thing, actually, it's funny. So obviously we're having this conversation now, but we're all partying in the other room, in between, and like drinking, sharing stories, whatever.
Yeah.
But I was hanging out with my wife and Sam's wife, and we were talking about this very event, and it was like the fucking third thing that we got. Because so for the Advent, it was like, oh, you know, there's like Advent calendars,
yeah,
like
yeah.
for like little
Okay,
Christian
yep.
kids or whatever, and it's like 20
Little Christian kids, sorry. that
whatever
was funny.
days of.
I don't know why that was funny. But
It was like 20 whatever days of chocolates usually. And so the idea was, okay, do that for us, but with painful spice. And
And
so,
inventive ways of delivering said
So,
spice
right,
into our palate.
they got stuff that was like tame, and they got stuff that was like brutal, and then they wrapped it all up in mystery bags, and we're just like, here's a
Like
bunch
little,
of fucking
little
shit.
gifts.
Oh.
And so the
And we
third,
randomly picked them from the boxes.
we randomly picked them, and the third fucking thing that we picked was chocolate dipped peppers,
Oh no.
and it was just full ass fucking hot peppers dipped in chocolate.
And he ate
in a
his,
box.
and he was fine.
I was
He
fine,
Like,
'cause
oh,
I
it's
got
not
a
that bad.
habanero.
And I was like, oh, this is so good.
What did you get?
It was a motherfucking Carolina Reaper.
It was the
Oh,
hottest
no.
pepper in the world.
just
covered
just
in
a
chocolate.
raw Carolina Reaper dipped in chocolate.
Wow.
And
And I was
peanut
like,
butter.
I don't understand what's going on, bro. Like, this
You're
is
like,
fine.
I'm fine. And then he had to eat his.
And then, yeah, because there was one of each for both of us, but we didn't know which was which. So then I dug into the second pepper, and I was like, I'm gonna be sick.
yeah, it was.
And he dived into his second one. He was like, oh, this one's totally
I was
fine.
like, this is
Yeah,
good,
yeah,
dude.
there
I'm
you
good
go.
with a chocolate covered habanero. Fuck, dude. Later so like towards the end, we were drinking. So like there were a couple of cocktails, and one of them was a spicy paloma, which is like I think it's like grapefruit and habanero, like vodka. We were drinking that shit to cool off.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was like the come down of like, just give me the manageable spice
Yep.
in here. That was fucking brutal.
Yeah, he died at the end. He passed out on the floor for a few
I
minutes.
literally laid on his floor, like right there. It was like, I can't.
So it's like, and I
I'm
was
good
like,
here.
I was like drinking the rest of there was at the end there was a mystery cocktail that was fucking deadly, and that had mystery peppers in it.
Because you also you pre-gamed with the Pepto.
I did.
Before
and
we
I
started, you
barely
chugged
survived. I barely survived with the Pepto.
And I didn't take Pepto till after, so it was too late. And I was
Yeah,
like, fuck, my
no.
stomach hurts. I'm dead.
Yeah, and we
was
survived,
awful.
but for some stupid fucking reason we decided to keep doing shit like that afterwards.
And
But-
then I'll also say, so in the early days when I was on Strength in Gaming, basically what would happen was we'd all pile in here. So this is all like pre-COVID stuff. We'd all pile in
It was
here.
a little bit larger because these weren't here, so it was a little bit more room.
Yeah, no, these shelves weren't here, but it was just like a couple of couches. And so we'd have like Sam, Sal, Kat, me, and then if there was anybody else on, somebody else on
And a
too.
few kittens like Monkey and Normal.
Oh yeah, and the cats running around everywhere. But we'd all just pile in this room and like hang out and just chat about video games. And then
while drinking.
the podcast would end, and then everyone would leave, and then Sam and I would go sit out in his kitchen and keep drinking and keep
talk.
talking.
Because alcoholism.
Because alcoholism. And the talk, eventually, the talk always went philosophical in some kind of way. You know, whether it was about, like, the existence or non-existence of God, or whether it was about politics, or whether it was about, you know, this, that, and the other thing, we'd always end up talking about philosophy.
And
So,
being
we
like
had that
both of
shared
us kind of
interest.
being like a central, like centrist-ish, like
Yeah, centrist without the pretension
politics,
that
at
centrists say
least.
centrist.
Yes, exactly. I just know that both sides hate me. That's all I fucking know. Like,
Same here, bro.
Yeah, no, that's one thing that we all connected on very strongly.
So we did that, and
It's
then
about looking at the point of view. Don't look at their point of view.
right.
so we were doing that.
Don't do as I say. Do as I say as I do.
Do say things. Do.
Yes, things,
Yes.
do, bang, bah.
So we were doing that kind of from almost the first time I was on Strength in Gaming, and then there was an episode of Strength in Gaming. I don't remember what the episode was. Sam, you might remember, but it was the first time that I met Josh.
I need weed to recall this shit. Fuck.
The weed recall. But it was the first time that I met Josh, and what happened was,
Was it the Bean Boozle then?
no, I wasn't on
No.
that one. So it would have been the next time he was on, probably after that.
He was on again.
But yeah.
oh,
yeah.
thank you, sir. That's
No.
my vape. Thank you.
He was on just like a regular episode after the Bean Boozled, and what happened was
that's right.
we recorded the episode and we
I
were like,
forbade him from talking about Eve.
yes, and we were talking gaming,
Except
whatever.
For the end.
Failure.
But then
Yeah.
during the breaks, and especially then after the episode was over, then you got up to piss, everyone else checked out, and Josh and I were just hanging out talking about fucking like economics. We started talking about like Ayn Rand versus like Marxist economics versus free market and all this stuff, and we had like,
Okay.
I don't know, I
So
want
now
to say
I'm
it was like a
confused.
2-hour conversation about economics, just like randomly on a video game podcast.
I feel like there's there's something that I'm missing along the way, only because when we finally got to Spicy Thoughts, I'm trying to remember the process that got there.
Well, that's what I was explaining.
Okay.
Was like, you
Go
and
on.
I, we had philosophical conversations from like almost day one of me on Strength and Gaming. And then the episode that I was on, that Josh was also on, we instantly went to the politics, which is like, it's political philosophy.
Right, yeah.
So then once, so like right after that, you and I were talking about, diversifying with Strength and Gaming and like having some other styles of podcasts.
Shows, yeah, 'cause I love podcast. I love entertaining and podcasting.
And we were like, hey, we can. Basically, what you said to me was like, we can do philosophy, but I don't know what that is exactly.
Yeah, except
And-
like I guess I did know.
I'm not a studied philosopher, but I philosophize.
Well, that's basically what it was.
Philosophize.
Was like he didn't study it like seriously, but I mean he had opinions and shit. So we were like, okay, we're gonna do philosophy.
have opinions.
And so
they're wrong.
We were talking about like, okay, are we just gonna do this like one-on-one? Should we have guests, whatever? And I was like, I don't really feel comfortable with having guests because
Yeah, it's a little weird.
it's a little weird. Like especially like early on. Maybe later we can do that, but early on, like it just needs to be about like foundational shit in philosophy. So he was like, well, I kind of want a third person, but like if we're not going to do guests, we're going to do. And I was like, give me fucking Josh.
Yeah.
That's the guy, man.
Yeah.
And then-
I remember. Okay,
no,
now
it was
I'm a
from that-
philosophizer. So
now
that
I'm
It was
makes
from
starting
that
to
one
remember.
conversation,
So,
and then the second that I said it, I was like, I want Josh on the show. Then he was like, bro, fuck yes, this is the best idea you've ever had.
I was like, this is what we do. So like, I basically was like, I heard that, and I just was like, yes, you guys, like, he's good people. Or I asked him, I was like, what do you think about Josh? And he's like, he's good people. I was like, yeah, he's good fucking people. And you guys, and I remember that happening. You guys just like having a long conversation.
You were really fucked up at the time, so you weren't listening, but you were like
Yes.
checking in and out as it went on.
I mean, because it happens, right? But I'm really fucked up right now. I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't know how much weed and booze, but I was still here with you guys.
I kept him up till 5 a.m. in the morning.
It was 6, I think.
I just
6
realized I'm
a.m.
still
in the
wearing
morning.
sunglasses. This is
There
supposed
you
to be
go.
like a bit for the beginning that I eventually did.
No, you don't need them.
And I
You're
I
sexy.
fucking forgot, man.
That's fine. You're cool. That's why I called you
wear
ZZ
my
Top.
Sunglasses at night.
He knows. But yeah, so then I basically like.
Christ, those lights are bright though.
Yeah,
There you
they
go.
are.
See,
Put
now
that
you're-
shit back on. I feel like we said, okay, so we should do a philosophy podcast, and I was thinking about how we should spin it, and then I was just like, well, we've done the spicy thing. What if we do, something with that, and because like
bring that into
because like nobody's really done that. I mean, they will now because they're gonna steal our shit right now, even though my shit's already done.
It's gonna be like 155 episodes of somebody's podcast by the time that we release it.
Yeah,
And
right,
like-
exactly.
they'll be like, you stole their idea.
Fuck you,
and we're
man.
gonna be like, no, man, we did it
But
originally.
But
And
ours
we're
would be
gonna
better
point to
because we're
this
doing
podcast.
original music production,
There we go.
editing
Yes.
in house,
Yeah.
and all
Yes,
that.
we
This
did
is like the
re-recording
first time I've been
everything.
on a professionally.
I don't know if I would
run.
call it that.
I'm gonna call it professionally run.
It's halfway
podcast.
professional.
It's got
It has the
like
pretense of
editing.
professionalism.
Like, so this is how I do a
That's
podcast because I go on Twitch, which we're on right now. So I go on Twitch, and now what I do is I just record it, and then I highlight it, and then I put it to YouTube.
Yeah.
And then I download it and I put it up on my thing.
But that's
I
the way to do it,
Zero
right, though,
editing
because, like-
I'm like, fuck this shit.
If
It's
you're
so
going,
quick and easy.
that's like if you really want to do it and if you really want to entertain, like that's the most important thing, right? Like the editing and stuff that can come later, right? If like,
Oh yeah, you can professionalize it up. When I'm making $1 million and I got like 5 editors underneath me, I'll be like, go through my old shit
yeah,
and
it's
like
like a fucking,
make it look cool.
Go fix it up.
Go make
But-
it look good.
But yeah, so I think it was me. You can correct me if I'm wrong. That just suggested that we call it Spicy Thoughts,
No, that was 100% you.
and we
Yeah.
and we do something with hot sauce.
'Cause
And then
my thing
we
was
collaborated on how we should do it. And originally, I think it was like we just try a sauce at the end or something.
Yeah, well, because so my thing was, I'm I would call myself like a lifelong philosopher. Philosophy is just what I do. I'm also studying it in college now, which is incidental, but part of it. So like, I just want to do a philosophy podcast of like, I want to talk about these ideas. I can't, my wife has actually I would call her a philosopher also. Like, she's very interested in all the same things that I am.
My wife.
But outside of my wife, I don't have people to talk about these ideas to. So I was like, I want to do a philosophy podcast. But Sam was the one who was like, okay, that's cool, and we can do that. But it's kind of lame just on its own. Like, let's put something else in it.
Those weren't my words, but...
No, those were not his words at all. But he was like, maybe we can marry it with this other thing that we're doing. And
that we've already have some experience doing,
Yeah.
that we're good at, that we like, that was also combining a passion with another passion.
But then also my idea was like, okay, so my raw idea was like, okay, so I'll come in, I'll introduce this philosophical idea, I'll explain like the different angles that it has, like what the opinions are, and then we'll discuss it. And then once we're done discussing it, we'll throw some hot sauce in there and be like, wow, that was fucking hot. Have a great time, guys. And Sam was like, you know what? I think it would be better if we had the whole conversation.
And it's okay because I
high
did it
as
too.
fucking capsaicin.
Yeah, no, that was brilliant. Like,
And that was brilliant.
I think that it really, like, I don't know,
makes
like
a difference in the conversation.
Oh yeah, I mean,
It's so much
that's the
better.
whole thing. Is even so going back to like the inspiration for this is like Hot Ones. Could you imagine just him asking his questions on his own? Is like good. Like he's a great interviewer, and therefore I would watch that. But like the adding on the spicy
On
is
both
what
sides.
makes it in both sides, and just the whole concept of like watching somebody go through an experience while on an interview is what like bringing that in was really something that like when you guys told me about it I was like brilliant. I love it. The funny thing is real quick is that the first episode that we did I had misunderstood the concept
Yes,
of
you
what
fucking did.
what we were doing.
Like,
But so this
fucking
is
God
this
damn
is
it.
part of my story of leveling up though. So when I came in, they were like, we're spice lords. Like we, you know, like
Which basically means we're
sriracha
idiots
is
and we're
ketchup,
stupid and we do
you
very
know, like
stupid
it's
things like
basically
Jackass.
basically ketchup to us. Like it's nothing. You
Okay,
know,
but
like
that's
we could
true.
put it on anything.
All the
And-
novelty aside, sriracha
and-
is...
and
is-
for
It's
me,
ketchup.
ketchup is a garbage condiment. Let's start there. And finish with that
Sriracha is a much better
Sriracha is
replacement.
ketchup with more sugar.
yeah,
I put tapatio and salt in my ketchup so that it tastes good.
So I came into this saying like sriracha is like hot to me, like super hot, and like I don't
oh.
even know what I don't even know what
Okay.
hot is or what
And
Scove. Like I understand.
Devin.
I'd watched Hot Ones a lot and I loved it. I was like, Hot Ones is super cool, but I don't even know if I could handle the like level 1 that they hand out. So I didn't know what was going on at all, and when it comes to like what is hot and not, and so I had misinterpreted the assignment, and it was that every episode we were going to do one sauce and then we'll go to another sauce, and I kind of had thought that we were going to do a lot of episodes maybe all at once. There was like some conceptual like kind of thoughts of like, well, I'll just do all of these and then I'll like eat them up, and even if we only get like 6 episodes in right away.
I mean, I wanted
like,
to try to get more than 2.
Well, there was some
Yeah.
talk of that.
But it was
I'm not completely unimpressioned that I should have had more. But so what I did is that I did one wing for every sauce. Like so they had like a chart of different things that we were
Yeah.
going to discuss.
Which would be like
So-
a hot
and
ones type deal.
so it was basically like Hot Ones that I did my first time. And it really leveled me up though because I went through and I think the hottest that
All
I
of
had
his
on there.
tailored, so like Devin tailored sauces to
I did.
pair with
I
the
did.
toppings.
Right, so I had like
So-
Tabasco sauce at
Yeah.
the very
I
beginning.
I did full research and like I planned out. So the first season, quote unquote, of Spicy Thoughts is I think eight episodes.
8 episodes, yeah.
So for Sam and I, the heat kind of fluctuates all over the place because,
But it's all above like 100,000.
Right.
well, yeah,
It's like,
Well, yeah.
it's like a lot of
I
Scoville.
want to be able to fucking
Which the
taste it.
Scoville
douche
scale
lords.
is like
But-
complete bullshit, but it's also not complete bullshit.
Yeah,
so.
but like the heat
Right.
fluctuated because what I tried to do for us was I was like, okay, I want to like pair the sauce with the idea.
Yeah. Okay,
So
yeah.
like on the episode, spoiler alert, there's an episode where we talk about Nietzsche's examination of the death of God. So I chose a local sauce, which is called Ghosted.
right.
You
yeah.
know, like
yeah.
God's ghosting your ass. So like I tried to theme them for us, and the heat didn't really matter because Sam and I have done such outrageous shit that like
Stupid.
yeah,
stupid
whatever.
shit.
But then for yours, I created a whole different arc for your sauces. So it would start out at the mildest and then build over time to then the finale would be the hottest sauce that you had.
Right.
And you had the hottest sauce on fucking day one.
Right, yeah. So I came
Because you
in.
did that shit.
Right. So I came in and I followed. Like I couldn't get exactly what he had. Like our Woodmans didn't exactly have what we had. And so I had to make some substitutes and stuff. So I just like kind of came in and had this like building scale, and so I ate it all. And then I got to like, and so
Tabasco.
I think it started with like Tabasco, and then it ended with like Melania's ghost pepper.
Melinda's, I think.
Or Melinda's.
Melania is
Melinda's,
fine
yeah.
too, but
Right.
she's the
Yeah, it was Melinda's
goddess
ghost
of
pepper.
Melinda's ghost pepper. Yeah. So I.
Wing sauce.
Creamy.
Not
so
that's the important part is not the because there is also like a non-creamy version.
Yes.
That's allegedly
So this was
hotter,
the
but
creamy.
the creamy one.
And so it's still like 100, some odd Scoville or something like that, I think, or up there kind of stuff.
It was pretty hot.
And so I like
Easily,
ate
yeah.
that, and I was like, oh wow, but I like it. Like it tastes really good. And so I started like eating that like a lot. Like we have like 3 bottles I think right now in my house of that sauce.
That's how it goes, man.
And like I'm like, oh, okay, I can just dip this on anything that's got chicken. I'm like, I'm gonna
this
add
morning
this
I made us brunch, and he had on his eggs the garlic reaper, and liked it.
Yeah, not
Is
too
it
much. Like
tasty?
to be
Well,
honest,
yeah,
I
was
like,
it
just
the
took a couple.
Torchbearer?
Yeah, the Torchbearer garlic reaper.
Okay, that's a fucking hot sauce.
Yeah, I like had it.
That
I was
shit's
like,
hot.
Oh, ooh, like
That was the.
I love it. It's one of my favorite
wasn't
ones.
it?
But
It was
like
the
that,
first
that
one.
doesn't play around.
I think. No, the second one. It was the second.
Maybe.
It was the second.
We definitely
episode.
did it. Yeah, we definitely did it. I don't remember when.
yeah. So
But I
I was
still
able
have
to like
some.
level myself up doing this like in one episode.
You
I like
leveled up
leveled it
hard.
really quick, and so then
Power leveled. That was the
power
power level.
level.
Power leveled. Yeah, I
That's
had
it.
some levels 99.
You accidentally power
like,
leveled
guys
yourself.
that took me through hell, and we got burned and we came out and we were fine. So.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that was an experience for me. And
So
then,
what you're saying is for the premiere of Spicy Thoughts Season 2, we should all do the newest Packy One Chip Challenge, right?
There you go.
One chip.
Maybe. We'll
Bring
see.
it in.
We'll
if you could
see.
figure out a good topic to go with it and convince me, I mean, it's not gonna. Be hard.
Oh, I can make it
It's
work.
not
Can I
very hard to
have
convince
I have spicy wings as well? Because that's like now I'm addicted. My
You
wife
ain't gonna want them.
my wife is so mad at me now. She's like, "Why do you always want spicy wings?"
It's funny too
Like-
because beforehand she was more of the spice lord than you were.
Oh yeah, and she still likes spice, but she doesn't like wings. So she's
Yeah.
like, I don't want wings.
It's funny. I literally I mentioned already we're like partying in the other room when we're not in here doing stuff, and
Party and
Eddie brought pizza.
pizza.
So Eddie brought a couple of pizzas, and I literally watched like everyone just like get their pizza and eat their pizza and like whatever it's pizza, and then literally I saw your wife go in and grab a couple slices of pizza, then walk to the fridge, open it up, look at the hot sauces, and be like,
Yeah, because from this morning she knows where they're at.
yeah. Then I watched her just be like fucking
like,
dumping that shit on there. I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, my wife definitely is a sriracha is ketchup kind of
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
it.
human.
She was at
She
that
was
level. Maybe
very-
hasn't done some of the stupid novelty bullshit that we've done. And I don't recommend you ever try it home. But for the sheer
Death
purposes
nuts
of
are apparently
Okay.
very. I remember listening
Oh,
to
God.
the Death Nut episode,
No.
and yeah.
If you're like
Well,
20 years old, maybe you can do it. But
No.
past that, like
You need Pepto.
Be careful.
You
your
need
digestion
uh,
just can't handle that
Imodium.
shit. It's too brutal.
Yeah.
Eddie full on fucking like rebooted during that episode.
Dude, he died. He just went flop.
He died
passed
on
out
his bed and then later just like resurrected.
And when I talked to him
Partway
about
through
it,
the
he was
episode.
like, he looked at it and he's like, I was like, dude, it was hilarious. I put that in the intro with you dying on your bed. And he looks at it and he's like, I don't remember that.
that didn't happen. I don't care if there's video evidence. That's AI created.
I don't remember
Right.
that. Because he was just so out of it. Like,
Yeah,
the
no,
death
that's.
nuts.
I mean, spice. Well, that's one of the things that I thought was kind of brilliant about the concept of this is like the interview concept of what they had with Hot Ones is really interesting in like that you bring on somebody and you're gonna like put them into a bunch of pain and it's gonna be this progression of like level up of like how tough you are and also just like how it makes you. But the other thing is that it makes your mind like run at like 1,000,000 miles an hour,
Yeah.
and I think that it helps with their answers. Actually, just there's the
It makes
level.
it more honest.
Yeah, I think that it just like you've got this like
Because
very
you don't have time to lie.
right. You don't have time.
You don't have that
think.
fucking filter
Right,
to like
it's just-
screen.
yes,
just do
You
it.
can't
Shit.
think at really fast. When your brain is on fire, you're just like, get me the info and then deposit info like straight out of memory rather than be like.
I wonder
you
how
can
many, like,
manipulate that. You know,
People got in trouble with their like PR people or something after that.
Oh, I
Oh,
wonder.
I'm sure it was a lot.
I'm sure that has at least happened. But so I thought it was brilliant though to like take it from not a interview perspective and to bring it into philosophy.
Yeah.
Because that's trying to just where it's like you get a little buzz going, you eat some really hot stuff, and then you hang out and philosophize about
Philosophize.
philify or folliculi. No.
No, but I see what you're saying though too, because I feel like it like breaks down kind of that wall of like, you want to seem at least relatively intelligent or well informed, like you know what you're talking about. But then the spice just kind of breaks you down to be like, let's just talk it out.
Right,
Like
let's
we're
just-
just people.
Let's not overthink
Let's just have
this.
the conversations.
Let's
Yeah.
just, like
We're-
which philosophizing is about overthinking, but also it's not. Like it's about the heart of like what what we are and what we're doing here and why we
Yeah, it's
why do
about
we do
being
the things that we
honest.
do? Yeah, be honest
And
with
when
ourselves.
when you try to over filter, you like screen that honesty out.
Shout out to Baffle99.
Like if I was going to,
He's in the chat.
sorry, do you want to?
No, you're
do
fine.
Do a
no,
thing.
No, it's.
What did
Noah.
Baffle 69?
Noah. He was on the show earlier.
He wants
Oh,
us to
yeah.
69. I don't.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
No, we can expand.
No, but like there's an element of philosophy that like there is kind of a pretension sometimes, and especially in academia, there's a bit of like I have to put up this wall of like I'm gonna write a scientific paper about this, that, and the other thing, and then when you have that spice, it just helps break down to be like, let's just fucking talk, bro.
Yeah,
Let's just
no,
have the honest conversations about these like various topics and get to the bottom of what's actually in there.
so not
And it's entertaining.
not that I endorse or like. I mean, I guess I think it's okay. I come from like but Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith, when not Revenge of the Sith, was it episode 2? I want to say
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
The worst of the prequel trilogy. Go
Right,
ahead.
Okay, it's the worst.
I'm here.
But it's the
Sorry, I don't know what the prequels are.
the
guys.
time when he's looking for the clone planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Yoda is like, you can't figure out what the fuck is going on here. Let me just ask a child. And the child, without having all of these preconceived like things about what's going on, is immediately like, okay, you can't find this planet in the database. Well, somebody deleted it. Like, and he's like,
They're all
really?
there,
Like, how
so
could a
someone just deleted
Jedi?
it.
How could some Jedi do this deletion? It's like he had to break down a lot of barriers in order to come to the conclusion. Although even I think that's kind of still a shit example, to be honest. But it's something that I think a lot of people have seen, and
It is an example, at
an
least.
example that you can give of this idea of like breaking down the barriers of the like what you already know, and that looking at things as a child is really important. Like, don't come into things with preconceived notions, and allow yourself to just realize what's happening right now. And then once you've gone through the experience,
It does
you come
take
to
a
an
certain amount of
understanding.
self-awareness to do that, though.
Yes.
Because
Well,
not
yeah.
everybody knows, like, their preconceived notions. They're just automatic.
That I feel like is one of the beauties of philosophy as a discipline, is like, because I'm also I'm going to college for philosophy, but I'm also in psychology, and there's a lot of like pampering and like very gentle treatment, and in the philosophy classes it's like, no. These are the ideas.
It's
Like,
this.
engage with them or fuck off. Like, you have two options. So I feel like there's a very humanizing aspect of that, of like, you just have to wrestle with the shit and acknowledge it for what it is.
And true that just not everybody realizes that they're wrestling with it, and that could add to the difficulty of it. But
Sure.
yeah,
How much longer are we going to be going, by the way? Because I'm out of beer.
I mean,
Yeah, me
I
too.
don't know. I mean, we could keep going, but I think we have other people that have to be on the show. What time is it?
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you, Mr. Showrunner.
I really was like, have we been on this
I
for
don't-
like
I don't run
an
the
hour?
show.
No, we went over by about 15 minutes. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a break over here on Twitch, and we're going to come back with some more of your favorite hosts.
AKA
on the
not
show.
me.
AKA not us. Like I'll try to see if I can make it without me being on the next one either. But because I want to break. But no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Yeah, no, that was fun.
Super great. Love you guys, by the way.
Peace.
Just FYI.
Yeah, no, love.
Thank you so much to all the nerds that listened. You can find us at strengthandgaming.com or email us at info@strcast.com.